their domination in pursuit of the Big Nine Conference crown. It's more than just football tonight, fans. Hang on your hats and grab your kids. It's all out war. Comcast Cable, Channel 17. Davison, Kearsley, next.
All right, John, thanks very much. Along with Will the Thrill McNeil, this is Pat Daly. Happy to have you along for the regular season finale on Comcast Cable. Boys high school football, and John previewed this rivalry and thrill. Throw out the records, as they say. Davison's going to come to play tonight. Kearsley, they have already got a playoff spot locked up, as John alluded to, so they got the Big Nine Conference Championships on their mind. And I tell you what, Davison is going to come to play. You talk about rivalries. Just ask Michigan and Michigan State. Michigan the last 5 years has lost 3 times to the Spartans in every game. Michigan has come in the favorite. Kearsley obviously the favorite tonight, but they cannot look ahead to the playoffs. They've got a ball game on their hands tonight.
Going back to what you said about Michigan and Michigan State, Pat, Michigan did lose to State 3 times out of the last 5 years. I mean, Michigan traditionally ranked in the top 25 year after year, and that just goes to show records and rankings don't mean a thing when you get out on the football field. The same way with these two teams. Kearsley, I'm sure they want to go into the playoffs on a roll, gain some momentum, and go into the playoffs on a positive note. And the one key for this team is not to get anybody injured. They're already without one player tonight. Davison, on the other hand, they want to play the role of spoiler. Hey, we're not going to give you guys anything. You're going to have to get out here on the field and earn it. And here's a chance for Davison to finish above 500.
You talked about the player who was out that is their top running back and tailback, Pat Ruff, who was out with an ankle injury. And filling in for Mr. Ruff is Rich Dosh, the sophomore standout. And we saw him break out a year ago in the Big Nine finale against Powers Catholic. That was for the championship, and Dosh had a pair of scores. Well, I had an opportunity to broadcast Davison's final home game a week ago on the Davison Educational Network, and I tell you what, this is an impressive ball club. That 4-4 record is deceiving. They have been in every ball game this season, and I really like this club, especially offensively, led by their senior quarterback in Sean Zernhelt. Awfully impressive in the win over Owasso last week, and it's business as usual for Dick Delage's offensive line. They are huge. They got some fellas up in the 250 mark, Thrill.
They most certainly do. They have 3 at 250, 1 at 210, and 1 at 200. Those are some big boys.
Sean Zernhelt is the QB. Mike Sams and Tom Husted are a couple of fellas to watch in that backfield for the Cardinals. They had some big runs for touchdowns against Owasso. Now for Kearsley, well, they have been impressive. Their lone setback, as John talked about, to Flushing in overtime a couple of weeks back. That was 28-27 the final there. And their average margin of victory, 15 points per game in their 7 W's. And that says an awful lot in this competitive Big Nine Conference.
It most certainly does. You know, and the Big Nine is one of the more competitive conferences in the state of Michigan.
Well, Jack Pratt, you know, not a surprise that his ball club has another chance at possibly winning a Big Nine championship back-to-back. And it's been since the 80s that somebody has done that in this conference. Tells you a little bit about the parity. Davison was the last team to win back-to-back championships. And, you know, he doesn't regroup when he loses players, seniors to graduation. He reloads, and awfully impressive the way he's able to fill spots. Kind of talented bunch here tonight.
Most certainly is, you know, and the thing about it is you get them while they're young, and you start then and nurturing them and getting them in a position to play football at this level. And once a guy leaves, the person behind him is brought along so well that he just steps right in and fills the void.
Also with eyes on this ball game tonight is Clio. And Clio, with a Davison win and with Clio winning tonight, they would win their first Big Nine championship since 1972. Even if Clio and Kearsley both win, they both will have a share of the Big Nine Conference title. And I tell you what, Clio is rooting for Davison rather hard tonight.
They most certainly are. You know, a conference title, you don't want to share it. You want it outright. And I'm sure that a lot of Cardinal fans out in Clio right about now.
Well, Kearsley in their traditional home blue and gold, and Davison in their visiting maroon, gold, and white. And Davison's going to have the football to begin this. Randy Crabtree along with Tom Husted are the 2 deep men waiting to receive the kick from Kearsley.
can see the players out there jumping around and bouncing on their toes and everything, trying to get the blood circulating and stay warm.
This is a unseasonably cold Friday evening from CK Richards Field. And we're underway, week number 9 between Davison and Kearsley. And it's taken by Houston, and he's got a big hole, and he'll take it up for a nice gain, and he loses the football. Kearsley has recovered. Boy, did Houston take a pop. That ball scored at least 5 yards away from him. Bodies sprawling for it, and the Hornets come up with it to begin this one. Turnover.
And that's what this football game is all about. Houston took the kickoff, excellent return, and right through the middle, and wham! The ball, he goes one way and the ball goes the other. And when you're the home team, you want to get out there and get your team, get your fans fired up and into the game, and that's exactly what this Hornet team has done.
Steve Streeter recovers for the Hornets, and Kearsley will have it 1st and 10 at the Davison 41-yard line and hold the phone as Kearsley, not expected to get out there offensively, is going to waste a timeout here as we don't have everybody out there, all 11 men.
Yeah, that's one thing they didn't expect.
Here's your Kearsley offensive line with Alpin, Woods, Harriman, Ostrander, and Salmon. Big fellas up front for Jack Pratt. Now to backs and ends, Ted Van Pelt, junior QB, leading this Kearsley offense. As we have Scott Ayer, Lalonde, Dosh, and Dunn, along with Neirink, rounding things out. Not Nick Stilson, as said there. He is from Clio. Boy, Kearsley'd like to have him tonight. So we get all Kearsley players out there, and we're set to go 1st and 10 at the 41. That's Dunn in motion, and they'll give it for a big gainer. And breaking free is Rich Dosh, the sophomore tailback, taking it to the 30-yard line and a Kearsley 1st down.
And one thing you'll see between these two teams tonight is the ball on the ground. Blocking is line play is going to be key in this game. Both teams are pretty much going to run the ball.
Now this Davison D out of the 5-3. They work Fountain, Ramberg, Barheit, Coleman, and Grossmueller up front for Dick DeLodge's D. Have the linebackers in secondary. There they are. Dunning, Evans, and Kehoe are the linebackers. Crabtree, Perriman, and Hetty are in the secondary. So Rich Dosh picks up 11 for a 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Hornets at the Cardinal 30. Van Pelt on the keeper, working left side. He's got some room, travels down the sideline, and is going to be very close to another Kearsley 1st down. And looking at the spot, he seems to have it.
And looking at the spot, I would say he does. Where it's very, very close.
Nice job by that offensive line setting up the blocks as those secondary people from Davison had to give chase, and luckily Van Pelt ran out of real estate working short side, and he was chased out of bounds.
I tell you, you got to love their 1st down efficiency. 2 plays and 2 1st downs.
So Van Pelt picks up 10 for a 1st. Dunn in motion, 1st and 10 at the 20. This time it's Tom Payne. And he'll take it to about the 17 for 3. So they'll give Payne 3, and he'll take it to the 17 for a 2nd and 7.
In these first 3 plays, Kearsley has run the ball so well. I'm anxious to see when the 1st time will come around for them to pass.
I formation set. Done once again the motion man. This time it's Dosh. Bobbing and weaving, got some blocking, and he takes it close to the 10-yard line. Very close to another Kearsley 1st down.
And if you look at Dosh at the end of that run, it's extremely cold here, like you stated earlier, Pat. And just as after he hit the hole and got into the pile, he put both hands on the football and made sure he wrapped that thing up.
It was 2nd and 7. Dosh needed 7. He got 8, and it'll set a 1st and goal of football at the Cardinal 9-yard line.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
Kearsley taking advantage of the Davison turnover on the kickoff. Started from the Davison 41-yard line. They have taken it down to the 9. This is the 5th play of the drive. And they'll work it close to the 5. That's Tom Payne this time. Working right side. He'll be stacked up after a pickup of close to 3. Randy Crabtree on the tackle for the Cardinals.
And the Hornets keep shuffling in these running backs, and the thing about it, that both of them are very effective.
Actually give Payne 2, 2nd and goal at the 7. Motion man Masserang. It's Dosh. Stacked up inside the 5 to about the 2. About 5 on that effort from Dosh. Another nice hole. Cardinals able to converge as Dosh was diving for that goal line, and he was stacked up. Actually spot him down at the 3 where they'll set up a 3rd and goal.
You know, in our pregame we talked about the size of the offensive line for the Cardinals. It's obvious the Hornets' offensive line isn't as big, but these guys are just as effective.
Done in motion. On 3rd and goal, and they'll give it Dosh. Touchdown, Kearsley. Rich Dosh working left side, got a nice hole, put his head forward, crossed the goal line, and Kearsley has a touchdown, and they're on the scoreboard first.
Kearsley taking full advantage of the turnover on the kick return, and takes the ball right down the field and punches it in the end zone.
No nonsense offense, as expected from the Hornets, with the solid running game. Now for the point after from Gallagher. And he'll knock it through. 8:41 to go, opening quarter. Kearsley on top of Davison, 7-0.
So nothing fancy on that drive, just smash mouth football. I mean, straight ahead. Guys on the line are firing out, and the running backs are doing a good job of picking their holes, and at the end of the play, putting their head down and picking up as much yardage as possible.
Well, Hornets capitalize on Davison's Tom Husted fumbling the kickoff. Steve Streeter recovered. Kearsley took over at the Davison 41-yard line. 7 plays later and a 41-yard scoring drive. Rich Dosh with a 3-yard touchdown run. And Anthony Gallagher adds the point after, and it's 7-0 Hornets. Time to drive, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So the Cardinals now to return. And it's taken by Crabtree, and he takes a pop, got it over the 20 to about the 23, and you better believe that he made awfully sure that he had both hands wrapped around that football. He might have paid for it, but at least Davison has it. Now the Davison offense, talked about this offensive line, a big one. LeBar, White, Lundy, Ramberg, and Provost up front. They've got their work cut out for them tonight. They're led by their senior quarterback in Zernhout. Kehoe's a good fullback. Sams and Houston, who were impressive a week ago, followed by Fountain Greenway. Greenway, the leading touchdown man for this Cardinal O, with 5 scores. 1st and 10 for the Cards from their 24-yard line. Zernhout on the keeper is brought down from behind. Number 21, John Daly on the tackle. Now your Hornet D. They're 5-3. Dunn, Daly, Bell, Streeter, and Gores up front. Linebackers in secondary, Neirink, Manzardo, who's awfully good in the middle. All Big 9 for a couple of years now. Payne, Dosh, Van Pelt, and Alex Masserang might be the best free safety in this conference. Zernhout loses one. He'll pitch it out barely. He'll get it off to Houston, and he is going to be tattooed and brought down for a loss back to his own 20-yard line. As Kearsley D is out. They're getting off the football rather quickly. And Davison is going to be set up with a 3rd and long now.
I tell you, the Kearsley defensive line is not as big as the Davison offensive line, but those guys are a lot quicker. And if you beat the block at the line, at the point of attack, it makes things a lot easier to bring down the ball carrier.
So the Cards lose 4, and it's 3rd and 15 from about their own 19-yard line. Zernhelt will keep it himself, but boy, he was taken up off his feet and sent to the cold C.K. Richards turf with a thump. 3 and out for Davison, and here comes the punting team.
And you talked about Joe Manzardo. He came up and lowered the boom that time.
He'll be an all Big 9 linebacker for another year. You can bet on that. So Masserang and Rich Dosh are set to return this punt, and it's a short one. Takes the Kearsley bounce as the punter shanked it. That being Tony Greenway. That didn't go very far at all, as it gets over the 30 to the 33-yard line for about an 18-yard punt, no return. So here's your officials. Referee is Steve Kelly, umpire Dan Gillard, linesman Ron LaFray, line judge Brian Dugan, and the back judge is Bill Heintzgill. So Kearsley will take over after the Davison short punt. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Card 33-yard line. That is Dosh taking it to the 30 for about 3. So Davison not off to the start that you would expect them to get off to, as they fumble the opening kickoff, and they go 3 and out. And with a short punt, Davison, or rather Kearsley, has good field position for their 2nd straight possession. First one started at the Davison 41, this one at the Davison 33-yard line. It's now 2nd and 7 at the 30. Van Pelt completes. Loose football after the catch, and they say no, he fumbles it. That pass was caught at the 15. Don Neirink hauled it in, the junior receiver, and I don't know if he just dropped the football or he took a pop, as it was on the far side of the field, but anyhow, it's going to be Davison's football.
And I tell you, just as I was about to say, Davison is digging a hole for themselves. They come up with a big turnover to stop the drive, and there you see he just dropped the football. Made the catch, and in this attempt to turn upfield, he just dropped the football.
So Davison's going to take over from their own 15-yard line. And they at least get some positive yardage for the first time, as they'll move it up about a yard. As that was Craig Kehoe, the fullback, on the carry, as they run it up the middle. And they'll give him a yard.
And we talked about how cold it is out here tonight, and that could have been one of the reasons that football was dropped. You know, once your hands get cold, the ball gets cold, it gets kind of slick and a little difficult to hold on to.
So they'll give the Cards one with Husted in motion. They'll pitch it to him, working left side, and he doesn't get much. Maybe a yard, as the defense of Kearsley was there. Led, of course, by 33 Manzardo. We'll call his name off an awful lot tonight. Delorge also there, as they will give Husted one, and it'll set up a 3rd and 8 for the Cardinals. So decision time if you're Davison. You're pinned pretty deep in your own territory. Do we air it out in this chilly, windy weather, or do you go to the ground? Now, Zernhelt's going to toss it. He's got a man, and they fail to hook up as it's incomplete. He had him. Tony Greenway, the junior receiver. And it was a bit in front of Tony, and Tony made a diving attempt for it, but unable to haul it in, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Greenway was definitely there. Excellent job of running the pattern. You know, so often you see 3rd down and 7, and the receiver runs a 5-yard route, and Greenway did an excellent job that time getting past the first down marker, but couldn't come up with the catch.
So Greenway hoping to do better on his 18-yard punt last time around. Oh, he just got it off, but he got a nice one off as Dosh and Masserang were set to return, and they will not. As the Cards get downfield in a hurry, and able to down it, but the football is downed at about the Cardinal 42-yard line, so Kearsley is going to have some field position to their advantage for the third straight series offensively.
And that's the third time they've gotten the ball in just about the same spot. So on that exchange, Kearsley didn't gain any ground, and Davison didn't lose any.
25-yard punt, no return, so Kearsley takes over 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 42. As Dosh working left side, and he'll take it close to the 40-yard line for a couple. Nice job by that Davison D, that right side, able to stack up 24 before he broke free.
Now those large gains on first down for Kearsley are a little bit harder to come by than what they were the first drive.
Dunny along with Greenway, or rather Evans, on that tackle as they hold Dosh for a yard, and it's 2nd and 9. Masserang, the motion man, on 2nd down. That's Dosh. And he'll take it inside the 40 to about the 38 for about 3, and it'll set up a 3rd and 6. Dosh seemed to lose his footing that time on this C.K. Richards turf.
Craig Kehoe that time for the Cardinals did an excellent job of coming up, turning that play inside, and not letting the ball carrier get the corner. But once the ball carrier turned it up, there was nobody home.
Big down for the Cards. It's been all Kearsley thus far. Boy, would they like a stop here. Van Pelt will throw it. And it's intercepted. No, they say it's incomplete. He was out of bounds when he caught it. But it's a positive for the Cards as it's going to bring up a 4th down for Kearsley.
Yeah, that throw right there, that might have been one of those just as good as a punt passes. You throw it out there, and hopefully your guy can come down with it. But if not, and it should happen to get picked off, it's just as good as if you had punted the thing away.
Second look if we have an opportunity. Here it is.
And there you see kind of a floater.
Good work from our camera crew as it was picked off by Kehoe. And here's the punt. Takes Kearsley bounce. Davison needs to get away from it, and they do as Dosh will spot it down inside the 10-yard line.
You see that so many times when people fail to get away from the football. You're not going to pick it up. So there's no need in being anywhere around it.
So a 29-yard punt, no return as it's spotted down at the 9-yard line. So the Cards will have it 1st and 10. And boy, I wonder how many layers those mascots have on.
I don't know, but if that's what's keeping them warm, I'm going to have to get me one at halftime.
Borrow the Bumblebee outfit, or pardon me, Hornet outfit. On the handoff, and not much stacked up at the line of scrimmage as the Davison runners. Whistles blow it dead. There's a Kehoe on the carry. Kehoe coming in with 4 touchdowns on the season. And he took it upfield for about a yard at best, and they call it 2nd and 9.
Hey, now that I think about it, I wonder what those guys were for Halloween.
Under 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. Kearsley up 7-0 as it's 2nd and 9 for Davison from their 10-yard line. And Zernhelt will hand it off, and it's Husted this time, and he'll take it up to about the 11 for 1. So it's going to become 3rd and long, call it 8 for the Cards from their 11.
I tell you, this field position game right now is favoring the Hornets. And if they can get a stop here, and I'm sure they're hoping that in Greenway, I tell you, that first kick, or actually both punts, he had to go high to get the snap.
Davison looking to avoid 3 and out for the third consecutive series, but it's going to happen as Zernhelt throws the incomplete ball, looking for Mark Lalonde, senior receiver, well overthrown, and incomplete, and here comes the punting team once again for Davison. They are -3 on their 3 yards total in their 3 offensive series in this opening quarter. Davison D just putting the clamps on this Cardinal O.
I'm going to tell you, the fortunate thing for the Cardinals is that they're only down 1 touchdown.
So Tony Greenway is going to punt it away from his own end zone, standing on his goal line. High snap is Dosh, and Masserang will wait for it, and Masserang will catch. And the return shakes off some tacklers and dives near the 30-yard line.
And a good job on the return by Masserang that time. And I'm sure one thing he knew in catching that football is that the coverage guy coming down for the Cardinals had to give him a certain amount of room to make the catch. And once he made the catch, all he did was just sidestep the defender as he flew on by and picked up a few yards.
A 28-yard punt through the air, and Masserang returns it for 6. 1st and 10 for the Cards, or rather the Hornets at the Cardinal 31 on 1st down. They'll run it, and they'll take it inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. As Lalonde with his first carry for Kearsley picks up 3, and it'll bring up 2nd and 7. So Kearsley, once again, starting in Davison territory with this offensive series. They've had it now 4 times, in each starting in Davison territory. As they'll take it inside the 25, as it's Payne this time, taking it to the 24 for about 4. As the final seconds tick off in this opening quarter. And this will probably be the last play of this first quarter. And it will be, as Kearsley will head to the sidelines to talk things over, as Davison will do the same. We've played one from C.K. Richards Field. Regular season finale between Big Nine foes, Kearsley and Davison. It's 7-0 Hornets. We'll take a break. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 17.
Only one thing protects your right to worship your own God. Lets people say whatever they want. Lets you read and watch whatever you please. Gives everyone the right to assemble and petition the government. And that one thing is the mighty First Amendment, the amendment that keeps us free. For a free guide to your First Amendment rights, call 1-800-815-5...
Even the hottest fighter pilot can't face this enemy alone. Become an Air Force physician. Aim high, Air Force.
Welcome back. Kearsley up 7-0. It's 3rd and 3 at the Davison 24-yard line as we begin the second quarter. Teams switch ends, and now Kearsley working right to left. Rich Dosh is going to have a 1st down and more. Making a break for the end zone, and he'll have a touchdown for the Hornets. Dosh's 2nd score, and it's now 13-0 Kearsley. Huge hole. Dosh doing a nice job getting through the linebackers of Davison. Turns on the Jets and has a 24-yard touchdown run for the Hornets.
And that did not take long at all. Every bit of 7 seconds in this second quarter. And I tell you, for the amount of yards that he covers, 7 seconds is pretty good.
And Masserang will hold it for Gallagher. Point after, and it's good. 11:53 to go before halftime as Kearsley scores once again. First play in this second quarter. 24-yard touchdown run from Rich Dosh. 3-play, 31-yard score and drive, point after good. It's now 14-0 Kearsley.
And just as we talked about the Cardinals getting a break by not being able to do much offensively and only being down 7 points, just as quick they're down 14, and the offense is going to have to get something going here.
Well, in the ball game that I had the opportunity to broadcast for the Davison Educational Network last week, Davison jumped all over Owasso early, led it 21-0. And then Owasso came back, made it 22-21 as they took the lead. But then Cardinals, showing some savvy, came back, scored the last 2 TDs to pull away and win it. So let's see if they've got some savvy left in their arsenal here against Kearsley. As one of the up men will scoop it, and he doesn't get much, working right sideline. That in Kehoe, picked it up from about his own 17, and he was stacked up immediately as he got about 5, as we'll wait for the spot, as he'll take it up to about the 22, 23-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, and they have gone 3 and out in each of its offensive series thus far. They've had the football 3 times, 3 and out each time with a punt. Motion man Sam Zernhelt will throw it. It'll go long, and the pass is long and overthrown and incomplete. Looking for Tony Greenway, the split end, down that right sideline. And looks like one of the cheerleaders may have hauled it in for Kearsley. It was that overthrown, so it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Anytime the cheerleaders make a catch, it's definitely overthrown. And that time, trying to hook up with Greenway down the sideline, and just a little misconnection there.
After the complete pass, it is now 2nd and 10. Zernhelt on the option. Bad decision that time. Fake to the back. Tried to tiptoe behind his left side of the offensive line, and to no avail there, as that Kearsley D was there to smother him. And they're going to lose some yardage, are the Cardinals, moving the football back to their 20. Actually, the 19 as he loses a couple. And it'll set up a 3rd and about 12 to go.
That play was doomed from the beginning. As soon as Zernhelt made the fake, the back was knocked down, and he had to jump over him, and the Kearsley D was there.
Call it a 3-yard loss on 3rd and 13 as the Cardinals will hand it off, and they will lose yardage once again. Kehoe on the carry. John Daly with the tackle for Kearsley, and Davison's going to punt it away.
I tell you, talk about size. John Daly, every bit of 140 pounds, that time making the tackle for a loss.
So back-to-back 3-yard losses on 2nd and 3rd down brings up a 4th and 15, and they'll punt it away, and that was nearly blocked. No return from the Hornets, and it'll roll over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. About a 26-yard punt and no return.
And Greenway again had to go high to make the catch on the snap, and had to take a couple of steps back, and that allowed the Kearsley special teams to just about come up with a block.
So for the 5th straight offensive series for Kearsley, they're going to have it in Davison territory. They've had it at the Davison 41, the 33, the 42, the 31, and now they've got it at the Davison 41. As it's Dosh. Play took some time to develop there, as he has no room at all to work with that time around. Right side of the D for Davison there to wrap him up.
Good job by the right side of that defensive line, and took that play a while to develop, and the defense stayed home.
Tim Grossmiller, the right defensive end, getting up underneath the pile for the Cards to make the tackle. So they'll give Dosh 1, and it's 2nd and 9 at the 40. This time they work it to Dunning. And Dunning's going to be very close to a Kearsley 1st down. We got a player shaken up for Kearsley, as Dunning exploded for a nice gainer, taking it to the 30. Needed 9, got at least 10, possibly 11, as we'll move the sticks for a Hornet first. One of those big fellas on the offensive line for the Hornets shaking out, Steve Alpin. 6-footer, 250. And he is going to be helped up off the field, and the best sign is he's walking off under his own power, so we'll probably see the big fella back.
I tell you, this Kearsley offense, as I said earlier, regardless of who the back is, you just put a guy in there, and he does the job.
So Dunning on his first carry from scrimmage for the Hornets, he picks up 10, and it's a Kearsley first and 10 at the Cardinal 30. Kearsley up 14-0. And this offense has looked awfully good, but they've had some good field position to work with. On first down, they'll get about a yard at best as they work up the middle. And Dunning with his second consecutive carry. No 10-yarder here as he picks up about a yard.
Good job by Wes Coleman that time. Come up and make the tackle.
Dunning will head to the sideline for a much-deserved rest. Get some high fives from his teammates, and Kearsley disarray on this particular play. One of the linemen was heading to the sidelines, and then his teammates were calling him back, and then they weren't in the huddle, and they were going to run out of time, so they have to call timeout, and that is their second of this half, and they've got one remaining. And the Hornets will stop the clock with 8:45 remaining.
Good job by the Hornets to get the timeout when you're in the when you're moving the football like they are, and getting yourself in a position to possibly score another touchdown. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You don't want to do anything to move you back any, give you any negative yardage.
Well, the first round of the playoffs for boys high school football will begin next week. The 1996 Michigan High School Athletic Association football playoffs will culminate in the Pontiac Silverdome on the 29th and 30th, with 8 champions being crowned. Make plans now to attend this year's championships at the Dome, the 29th and 30th. It is always a lot of fun with 8 championship games in 2 days. Public service message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, Flint Area Community Television, Channel 17. And the Cards on second down, able to stop Kearsley, and Kearsley will actually lose some yardage as Dosh going back to the huddle, and I'm not sure if he got his bell rung or what, but he seems to be shaken up a bit. Looks like he's got some sod there as he was eating some turf, as he will lose 3, moving the football back to the 32-yard line, where we'll set up a 3rd and 12.
That time, excellent job of stringing that play out by the Cardinal defense. Van Pelt was rolling and looking for somebody to throw it to, and got away from the defense and finally found Dosh. And I tell you, the secondary came up and puts a stop on Dosh real quick.
3rd and 12. We got 3 receivers out there for Kearsley with the lone setback. And now the Hornets are whistled for a delay of game, so we're going to move it back 5, moving it back to the 37, where instead of 3rd and 12, it's now 3rd and 17. And with a 7:51, as I overhear one of the members of the press box up here at C.K. Richards Field, that is our first flag of tonight's ball game.
And I tell you, between that and both of these teams running the football quite a bit, that's making for a very fast-paced ball game.
So the line of the first for the Hornets is the 20-yard line, and Van Pelt straight drop going long. Looking for Masserang. He'll haul it in. Down to the 5-yard line. Alex Masserang. It'll set up a 1st and goal for the Hornets.
What a grab by Masserang. Excellent job that time of fighting off the defender for the football. See if we can take another look at that one. That was a beautiful catch as you see Masserang headed to the sideline for a breather.
Another look. See Masserang exchanging 5s.
There you see the tail end. The ball is thrown short. The ball is thrown short, and when it's short, the advantage is always to the receiver.
Ryan Dunning on the carry. As he'll take it inside the 5 on 1st and goal to 6, as he will take it to the 3 for 3. So it was Van Pelt to Masserang for 31 yards, setting up that 1st and goal play. Here's 2nd and goal. This time with Payne in the backfield. He'll back his way in for a Kearsley touchdown.
And I tell you, when you back your way in for a touchdown, you know things are going well.
3-yard touchdown run from Tom Payne. And the Hornets, which was once a 14-0 lead, make it 20-0 after that score. Another look, and this offensive line is doing some serious work, Thrill.
They most certainly are. Very good job at the point of attack. Everybody get a piece of somebody, and that's exactly what they did. And that allowed Tom Payne to just back his way into the end zone.
Gallagher is 3 for 3 on point after, 6:36 to go before halftime. All Kearsley through a quarter and a half of play. 21-0 Hornets.
And I tell you, one thing's for sure, you really can't fault this Cardinal defense. These guys have been on a football field for majority of this first half, and when that happens, you know, it just starts to wear on you, and you can only do so much. The offense is going to have to get something going and give these guys opportunity to get on the sideline and get a decent breather.
Time of that drive by the Hornets, 3 minutes 46 seconds, a 7-play, 41-yard scoring drive. Tom Payne caps off the drive with a 3-yard touchdown run. Point after good from Gallagher, and it's now 21-0. You're right, Thrill. This Cardinal offense has got to get it going. Even if they don't score on this possession, at least pick up some yardage and a 1st down to keep this Cardinal D off the field and get some rest. As it's Crabtree on the return. Bobbled it for a moment, regrouped, and then takes it over the 25 to about the 27-yard line where Davison will have the football.
I tell you, if the Cardinal offense can get something going, even like you said, without scoring points, they could very well win the battle of field position, and you know, if the ball is exchanged and the defense can come up with a stop, maybe get the ball back further than what they had it originally.
This is the best field position Davison has started with in this contest. Prior to this, their best was from their 24. This time they're from the 27 on 1st and 10. Husted in motion. Zernhelt fakes, throws, completes. Got a man. He's got a 1st down and more as he's up over the 40-yard line. And the Cards have their first down of this ball game.
There you go. The running game's not working. You go to something different, and that's exactly what happened. Is they picked up the 1st down. And I tell you, if it wasn't for the tackle by Masserang, there would have been even more yardage involved.
And Zernhelt to foul for 14, moving it up to the 41-yard line, 1st and 10 Cardinals. Took them a quarter and a half to get their 1st down, and their first completion for 14 yards. 1st and 10, Zernhelt throws again, may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, or it possibly slipped out of Zernhelt's hands. We talked about the weather being a factor. We saw a Hornet cough it up earlier, just literally slipped right out of his hands, and that may have been the case that time. Another look at it now is maybe we can get a closer look.
Looked like it was blocked at the line of scrimmage. I didn't get a good look at what number that was, but that thing was just batted down.
So the batted down pass, incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cards. Zernhelt straight drop, looking over the middle. Airs it out, got it, and it's caught. In the Hornet territory, and a 1st down as the Cards will take it to about the 30-yard line.
I tell you, regardless of what level you play football on, that a pass play like that, it doesn't come any better than what we just seen. And there you see the tail end of the play, the catch by Greenway, but that was on the money.
Their go-to guy receiving-wise. Greenway with 5 scores on the season. 29 yards, Zernhelt to Greenway. Picturesque pass play there as you kind of get a hush as everybody was gasping there, as that was just beautifully ran, timed out perfectly over the middle for a big gainer. And Kearsley, Davison for the first time, has it in Kearsley territory.
I'm going to pick up an extra free 5 on the offsides.
So that'll move the football now to the 25 of the Hornets.
We'll see if they come back with a draw or something of that nature with the 2 successful passes.
Out of the eye they work, and they'll give it to the fullback in Kehoe, and he is stacked up. He might have lost a yard as that left side of the D was ready and waiting. Blue shirts all over him as they actually will lose about 3. Moving it back to the 28, where it'll be a 2nd down and 8.
They gained a free 5 and gave 3 of those back.
So this is the 5th play for this offensive drive for Davison, which started from their 27. They're down 21-0, looking to get on the scoreboard. They'll toss it out on the screen, and that's a lateral. As that pass attempt went behind Sams, the intended receiver. I don't know if that was tipped or the wind got a hold of that one, but all of a sudden it looked like it was right on the money, and it went away from Mr. Sams in a hurry.
It sure did, and it did not. That lateral definitely took a Kearsley bounce.
It was 2nd and 8. This football goes all the way back to the 42-yard line. Unfortunately for Davison, Kearsley unable to track it down and recover. And the ball went out of bounds back to the 42 where it's 3rd and 22. The line of the first is the 20. Quick toss and incomplete. Zernhelt looking for Husted, and now we got a flag come in late. And this may be against Kearsley.
And it may carry an automatic 1st down as well, depending on what the call is.
So this could turn out to be very huge. As one of the officials is heading to the sideline to explain to Kearsley exactly what the call is going to be. As now the officials are huddling up and going to determine. It's going to be the 15-yard variety, and we unsure what down it's going to be.
Still 3rd.
Yep, we're going to replay 3rd down. The personal foul call against the Hornets. And Davison says thank you very much. Instead of 3rd and 20, or rather 4th and 22, it is now 3rd and 7 at the Hornet 27.
I'll tell you, being down 21 points in the first half, they're definitely in 4-down territory now.
3rd and 7, Kehoe alone, setback, Zernhelt in trouble, gets away. How did he break free? He's going to have a 1st down and more. Finally chased out of bounds as he takes it inside the 20-yard line. And then we got a late flag come in. Boy, Thrill, I tell you what an effort from Zernhelt, the quarterback.
It most certainly was. I thought he was I thought he was going to be tackled for a loss, and a good heads-up play there. He kept his legs moving and then scrambled around and got out of there and picked up a 1st down.
Well, we're going to bring it back. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Davison. Somebody running their mouth, I think, after the play. And that's a no-no.
Let's see if we can take another look at that one and see exactly what occurred.
So now the officials are huddling up, and they will get the 1st on that run from Zernhelt. as he took it to the 17-yard line for a 10-yard gainer. And being a penalty after the play, it'll be a first down. We'll tack on a 15-yard unsportsmanlike call against the Cards. So it'll move the football back to the 33-yard line, where it's 1st and 25 to set it straight for you.
Tell you, this series has been very strange in penalties.
Husted in motion. Zernhelt throws and complete. Greenway football loose. The call.
They call it a
Kearsley
catch.
Football. That's a good call, Thrill. He hauled it in and then took a couple of steps. And then he was popped and the football squirts loose. And it's Hornet football.
And the same play they hooked up on earlier for the big first down, you see Greenway make the catch. And then you see that ball is thrown on a line. Greenway makes the catch, and he is belted by number 24.
That's Rich Dosh, Thrill.
Rich Dosh, and shows he can play both sides of the football as he comes up to make a big hit, and Kearsley gets the football back.
So the Hornets will have it from their 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Motion man done. And Van Pelt with the nice fake, down the sideline, pointing to his blockers, and finally runs out of real estate as he's chased out of bounds, and he's going to have a Kearsley first down.
You know, I think that time Van Pelt pointed more or less to throw the defense off than to actually pick up a block, because everybody else was going the other way.
So Van Pelt picks up 11. We'll move the sticks for the Hornets. And the football just over the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Boy, that whole Davison defense seemed to be running left side. Excellent fake from number 12 in Van Pelt. And he had all kinds of room. The unfortunate thing, he was working short side and didn't have much where to go as the angle is eventually cut off. As the Kearsley will pick up some yardage by Dosh for a couple of yards. Will Rich run? And he'll move it upfield to about the 43-yard line for 3 yards.
Good job by Dosh just to pick up a couple, because he and Van Pelt ran into each other trying to make the exchange in the backfield.
Scary thing about this Kearsley offense, both of those fellas will be back next year. Van Pelt, a junior, and Dosh, just a sophomore. Two of the major cogs in this Kearsley offense for the 96 campaign. Masserang in motion, and they'll pitch it Dunning, and he is going to be wrapped up and brought down. Boy, did that Kearsley defender get in there or rather the Davison defender get in there in a hurry. That being 97 in Grossmuller. Boy, did he get out of the blocks quick.
He sure did, along with Craig Kehoe combined on the tackle. And I tell you, the ball carrier for Kearsley that time looked like he had some yardage in front of him, and that door was slammed shut.
Ryan Dunning loses about 6. They'll call it 3rd and 13 for the Hornets from their 37. Clock under 3, 2:50 and counting to go before halftime, and it's been all Hornets. They're up 21-0. And Van Pelt will drop back to throw. Rolling right, back pedals, and it is almost intercepted. I think that was Kehoe over there, and it was. Boy, he had that one, and he had his eyes on the end zone thrill before he was able to haul that one in. But if you're Davison, you'll take it because you're going to get the football back, regardless of the interception or not, because the Hornets are going to be stopped here, and it's going to be up a 4th down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
I tell you, Kehoe did everything correctly that time except for catch the football. Had a one-on-one coverage out there, made a great break on the ball, and got in front of the receiver, and the ball just hit him right in the chest. And as you said, Pat, I think he was looking at the end zone before he made the catch.
Temple punts, and he gets off a good one. As the Davison Cardinals unable to get a return. And they will have the football with 2:32 to go before the half, as they'll have it from their 34-yard line. So a 29-yard punt and no return. see the Cards as they got some work to do to get back into this one. This football game long from being over, though, as it's 1st and 10, as they'll call it from the Cardinal 34-yard line. Zernhelt back to throw on 1st down, looking over the middle, and not a Cardinal receiver in sight, as that was nearly picked off. Closest receiver for the Cards was about 5 yards away from the football.
Yeah, good thing that thing came in there low, because if it had been a little higher, Kearsley would have been looking at trying to put some more points on the board before the half is over.
So the Cards will break huddle and step up to the line of scrimmage with 3 receivers out there for Zernhelt. Keyhole the lone setback on 2nd and 10. Looking left, got Greenway. He's going to have a 1st down as he'll get it over the 40. And he will take it to about the 42-yard line.
Tell you one thing you got to love about Greenway, he'll definitely, after taking that pop on the fumble, he comes right back and goes back across the middle and makes another catch. And the good thing about it, this kid knows where the 1st down marker is.
Loose football there, bobbled snap. Actually, they have it from their 47, not the 42 on 1st and 10, as the Cardinals picked up 13 on that pass play. They lose 1 on the bobbled snap, so it'll be 2nd and 11, as the Cards will call timeout. And they have got 2 remaining with 2:01 to go before the half. And not a bad decision from Mr. Zernhelt and his Davison offense to step over to the sideline and talk things over with their respective coaching staff. This would be big for the Cards, even if they don't get a score thrill, even if they move this football down the field. That's going to be a confidence builder, and that's exactly what they need, because this offense has really struggled.
They most certainly have, and if they move the ball here, it's something for them to build on once they go into the locker room. They can go in and say, hey, look, the last few plays, this is what we did. Now we're going to come out the 3rd quarter, and we're going to continue to do the same, because we've had a little success at it, and hopefully we can get things rolling.
Update you on other Big 9 teams, the schedule for this final week of Big 9 play. Clyles at Grand Blanc, and that's going to be an interesting one there. Could be a shootout. Owasso at Powers Catholic. Powers with a W is into the playoffs. Beecher at Flushing, and then Swartz Creek at Cameron Ainsworth, rounding things out in Big 9 play for week number 9. So the Cards are back onto the field, and we are set to go on 2nd and 11 from their 46. Zernhelt to throw, chased out of the pocket, rolling left. Hurls it, and incomplete.
Tell you, when your quarterback is in trouble like that as a receiver, you have to give him somewhere to put the football. He had 2 receivers in the same spot, both running toward the sideline. One of those guys should have just taken off straight down the field.
The pass was intended for Crabtree. Well overthrown, and it's 3rd and 11. See the Kearsley band trying to stay warm, and they will be set to go at halftime. Well, I bet you can't wait just to get out there and move, generate some body heat. On 3rd and 11, Zernhelt got a man. It's caught by Kehoe. He's into Kearsley territory.
You see that time, quarterback in trouble. What receiver does, he just takes off right down the field. And as I said earlier, that's one of those passes that's just as good as a punt. Hey, if they get it, what are the chances of them taking this thing back 70 yards?
A 21-yard pickup on that pass play. Nice broken coverage there from the Hornets. So here we go, 1st and 10, going long. Pass almost hauled in by Randy Crabtree. Had a hand on it and then dropped it.
Tell you, that was tipped a couple of times, and if Crabtree could have came up with that one, it would have been smooth sailing.
I believe the pass was intended for Greenway off his hands. And then to Crabtree. We'll take a break. 1:46 to go before half. 21-0 Kearsley.
Join the Air Force and see the world's most exotic terminals. For today's hottest computer careers, aim high, Air Force.
Welcome back as we apologize for the break as we missed one play, and boy, it almost was a big one, Thrill, as that pass was tipped and batted around at the goal line. And Davison almost came up with a touchdown, but to no avail. So we're back to action on 3rd and 10. Zernhel, this time he's going to be brought down for a sack. And coming out of the pile, fired up for the Hornets, John Daly.
And not to be confused with Big John Daly either.
Nope, he is a little fella, but he plays awfully large out there for that Kearsley D as Dick Delage will call time with 1:16 to go. Each team with the timeout remaining in this first half. And the Cards call timeout on 4th and 14. So that time breakdown on the blocking for the Cardinals. We've seen it happen a couple of times where Zernhel able to break free, but that time the little fella, the speedy John Daly, awfully nice last name, Thrill, on the sack.
So are you going to start calling him cousin too? or it depends on how far this athletics takes him.
Might have to claim him. We'll see. So now the Cards get set in their huddle, and they'll break it as you see. And this is 4th and 15. Need to get to the 22, call it 23-yard line for a first. Zernhel with all the time in the world. Flag down. Looking long, and it's intercepted. And it is picked off by number 20 and Jack Ridley. And that flag is in the area of a hold. And the official talking things over with the Kearsley captain and Manzardo. It was a hold against the Cards. Obviously, the Hornets refuse. And they will take over with 1:09 to go in this first half.
And Zernhel at that time did exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation with it being 4th down. You just kind of put that thing out there and hope for the best. And unfortunately, it was picked off.
So the Cards, after the interception, will take over from their 12-yard line, 1st and 10. And interesting to see what they do here now. Do they go to the air, or do they go conservative here and just run out the clock as all the momentum is on their side and don't want to risk any sort of turnover here and give Davison any type of advantage? And Van Pelt will decide to kneel it down and take a knee, and they'll run some clock. And I like that decision, especially being pinned deep in your own territory.
And I tell you, not only that, you have the playoffs to look forward to, and you're up 21-zip, and you've dominated the first half, and you know, no need in being greedy. You just take what you have and go into the locker room.
So on 2nd down, Van Pelt will take a knee once again. And that should be the final play of this half. And Kearsley will go back to their huddle, and when the officials started the play, they're not even going to have to run one here, I don't think, as we have the clock ticking down now under 10, as you see. As both teams are going to head to the locker rooms on a cold, chilly Friday night from C.K. Richards Field. But it's been anything but cold on the Kearsley sideline. They have been hot both offensively and defensively. They are rolling through one half of play in this Big Nine finale between rivals Davison and Kearsley. All the Hornets, 21-0. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 17.
Even the hottest fighter pilot can't face this enemy alone. Become an Air Force physician. Aim high. Air Force. If you want to practice medicine in a more stimulating atmosphere, call 1-800-423-USAF.
Welcome back, CK Richards Field, home of the Kearsley Hornets, site of week number 9 of the Big 9 conference matchup between Kearsley and Davison. As we are going to send it down to John Smith.
Per pass, excuse me. Also got some stats on the Davison side. Kehoe, which is their leading scorer, which he's done real big lately, and he came up real big last week with 4 touchdowns on the season. He's only averaging 0.2 yards per carry.
Okay, John, thanks very much. As had a little botch in who was going to begin things. We got the tail end of John's report summarizing the stats, and didn't get his update on Rich Dosh, but Dosh is filled in rather nicely for the injured Pat Ruff, who's out with an ankle injury, and he has 2 scores on the contest, and he's been the star offensively, and the Kearsley unit as a whole defensively has done a number on this Davison offense, and that's really been the big story.
It most certainly has. These guys have virtually had their way ever since recovering, ever since that fumble opening kickoff was recovered. Took them about 4 plays, about 4 minutes, and the thing about that is they never threw the ball. It was all running plays, and to score that fast on just running the footballs shows what an incredible job their offensive line was doing.
And the unfortunate thing for Davison as we begin this 3rd quarter, Kearsley will have the football as they're up 21-0 to begin this 2nd half.
Cardo, get ready to kick off, start the 2nd half.
One of those return men for the Hornets is Rich Dosh, as they'll angle it towards that right sideline, and it'll go out of bounds as flags fly. And the Hornets will send the offensive unit out to the field, and they'll have it 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. So here comes the Hornet-O, led by their junior quarterback in Tad Van Pelt. Doing a nice job at distributing the football to Dosh and Lalonde rather, along with Payne. Also Ryan Dunning getting some carries as they wait for Van Pelt to get out there and direct the offense here. Alpin, Woods, Harriman, and Ostrander along with Salmon are the front 5 offensively for the Hornets. Van Pelt, along with Dosh, Dunn, Air, and Neirink. Insert Tom Lalonde in there. And that rounds out the Kearsley O. They'll pitch it out. Dosh on 1st down from their 35, and he'll take it very close to the 45-yard line. And depending on the spot, he may have a Hornets 1st down.
And this is exactly how the beginning of the game, started for the Hornets.
He'll have 10, enough for a 1st. Now your Davison D, the 5-3. It's Fout, Rambert, Barheit, Coleman, and Grossmuller, who had a nice 1st half defensively for Davison. That front 5 for Dick DeLodge's crew. Dunning, Evans, and Kehoe are the linebackers. Crabtree, Perriman, and Hetty are in the secondary. So the first play from scrimmage for the Hornets is a 1st down. They'll have it at the 45-yard line. Van Pelt runs into his own man, but Kearsley still gets some yardage on it. As it's Tom Payne on the carry, and he'll take it up close to midfield. And he will have it right at midfield, and he'll pick up 5 yards.
And I tell you, that's the type of thing that happens when everything is going right for you.
Well, things have been going right for Kearsley from the opening play of this ball game as they recovered the kickoff as Tom Husted took a pop and Streeter recovered it for the Hornets. Kearsley took over at the Davison 41-yard line. The 7-play, 41-yard scoring drive, and they were up 7-0. And they have added 2 more TDs, and they lead at 21-0. Now they have the football in Davison territory as the Hornets have another 1st down. We'll move the sticks.
Stop anybody from 23, Joe Hetty. And 33, Clint Perryman.
Thinking back to the beginning of this drive when Kearsley got started on their own 35, I think that's probably well, I guess you can't call it the worst field position they've had, but probably the deepest that they've had to start a drive.
So the Hornets pick up 9. I believe that was Lalonde on the carry, and it's 1st and 10 at the 41. This time it's Dunning breaking out of his stance for a big scamper. Taking it to the 35-yard line.
Chad Evans on the stop for the Cardinals, number 81, assisted by number 19.
And they're breaking off the yardage in chunks.
Carry 7 yards on the run, second
And
and
I tell you, when that happens, that makes your play calling so much easier.
So Dunning picks up 6, 2nd and 4 for the Hornets at the 35.
Now you see a good look at the interior line there.
In the trenches, and Kearsley has won the battle thus far. It's Dunning again. Took a hit. Forward momentum carries him close to the first down marker.
Close to that first down marker, wait for the official to spot the ball.
Let's see if we can take another look at that run by Dunning that time. See how much time he had to just pick his hole. I mean, he took the handoff, he started full speed, and just as he got to the line of scrimmage, he kind of slowed down to see which way he was going to make his cut, and just kind of tiptoed through there for the first down. There you see the end of the run. But he had plenty of time to make a decision, and you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front.
Needed 4, and he got it just enough for a Hornet first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Kearsley at the Davison 31. Drive started for the Hornets from their 35-yard line. On first down, the Hornets don't get much. As that Cardinal D able to stack up the runner and Payne this time. And he stacked up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and it's 2nd and 10.
Oh, it's second down and 10. Ball right at the Cardinals 31-yard line.
Kearsley has had some excellent field position to work with. On 2nd down, Van Pelt thought about throwing some good downfield coverage. And that is a team sack this time recorded by the Cards. There was about 3 or 4 white shirts on Van Pelt. And credit Kehoe with the tackle.
You got to give credit to the guys in the Cardinals secondary. They had the receivers blanketed that time, and there was nowhere for Van Pelt to go but down.
Brought down right at the line of scrimmage for nothing, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Dwayne Dunn out to the right. Van Pelt fakes handoff, looking long for Dunn, incomplete. Double coverage by the Cards, and the pass is overthrown out of bounds, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Tell you, even though that pass was overthrown and out of bounds, you got to give Van Pelt credit for standing in there. He stopped his setup, and he knew he was going to take a pop, but nonetheless, he did it and got that pass out of there. Didn't get the completion, but at least he avoided a loss.
So Davison will call time with 7:32 to go in the 3rd. And Pratt's going to talk things over with his offense here. This is 4-down territory for the Hornets as they have it at the 31. And realistically, even if the Hornets aren't unable to get a first down here on this 4th down play, as you have talked about before, this is basically just a punt.
It sure is one of those things. If they're going to pass the ball and he can't find a receiver, it'd probably be better off just putting that thing out there and hoping for the best.
Well, we talked about in the open, Kearsley, regardless of outcome in this one, Thrill, they're in the playoffs. So all that's on their minds now is getting a share of this Big 9 championship. On the other hand, if you're Davison, boy, would they like to shake up things in this conference race with the win. And it's going to take an awful lot for them to come back. Clio would win the championship outright if they pulled off a W. And that would be their first championship since '72. Clio is also into the postseason. And we're going to have an interesting region in this area with Saginaw, Lapeer West, Kearsley, and Clio, the top 4 seeds in the Class A region, Region 1. So on 4th down, Van Pelt throws, looking long for Dunn.
Oh.
Had it in his hands and broken up, incomplete.
He most certainly did. Dunn went up and had both hands on the football, but good job for by the Cardinals secondary to separate him from the football after he got his hands on it. They made sure he didn't come down with it.
I believe it was 33 in Clint Perriman who was the one that knocked the football out of Dunn's hands. Perriman to Davison. So the Cards will have it after Kearsley turns it over on downs. And they need any kind of momentum they can gain as they'll have it 1st and 10 from their 31 as Sams is in motion. Zernhelt to throw and incomplete.
Cardinals back for a pass. But
Looking for Tim Fout, the tight end. Timing pattern mistimed there between Zernhelt and Fout. It was well overthrown, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, Zernhelt that time got that one in there kind of high.
Now your Davison offensive line with LeBar, White, Lundy, and Ramberg, along with Provost. Big fellas up front for the Lodges Ball Club.
2nd down and 10.
Backs and ends after this play on 2nd down. Zernhelt fakes a handoff, and the pass is short and incomplete. Looking for Greenway that time, and he had him. Pass possibly slipped, and it was underthrown, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Greenway's made some big catches in the first half, as you see the Davison offense here.
As long as it's Zernhelt at QB with Kehoe and Sams and Houston in the backfield. Fout, the tight end, and Greenway with a pair of catches in that first half. Need to catch a couple more for the Cards to get back in it. So it's 3rd and 10 for Davison from their 31-yard line. Get a good look at the Davison sideline.
Okay, 3rd and 10.
Zernhelt the long count, and they'll set up the screen, and it's complete. Going for that 1st down marker.
I think he got it.
I believe that is Houston, or no, that is rather Crabtree over there making the catch. And boy, it was hard to tell exactly where he was brought out, but from the spot, he's going to have a 1st down and then some. Doing a nice job with the sideline work with Crabtree after the catch. Right after the catch through, he did an excellent job of seeing where he was on the field and made a bead for that 1st down marker. And some nice work there.
Most certainly. You have to know what that marker is. And he most definitely did as he picked up the 1st down.
13 yards, Zernhelt to Crabtree, and it's 1st and 10 for the Cards from their 44-yard line. Zernhelt throws, and incomplete. Had his man, and it was a bit overthrown, looking for Tim Fout once again. He was 2-timed over there, and Zernhelt almost threaded the needle for a big-time completion, but he missed him by about a yard or 2.
And I tell you, if he'd had just a half a second more, that would have been a completion.
So here's the 5-3-D up front for Kearsley. It's done. John Daly had a big first half, a little fellow up there. Bell and Streeter, along with Gores, rounded out. Get the linebackers in secondary after this play on 2nd and 10 for the Cards from their 44. Boy, a little shaky on the exchange as Kehoe and Zernhelt. Kehoe almost appeared he really didn't want that one as he took it. As we've seen the option ran many a time by Davison, and Kehoe took it, and he didn't get much at all. As Neirink, Manzardo, and Payne are in for the linebackers, and Dosh, Van Pelt, and Masserang are in the secondary.
3rd and 10.
So Kehoe with no gain for the Cards, and it's 3rd and 10. Zernhelt, quick toss over the middle. Has a man in Fout, and he's going to have a 1st down. And it's into Kearsley territory, down to the 45.
Picks up the 1st down. Tackle made by number 2, Masserang. Cardinals get a 1st down. They move to Hornets territory.
Actually, they'll spot it at the 44, as he will pick up 12, will Fout. Zernhelt to Fout. And the Cards are into Kearsley territory.
Sandy Wright.
And that's exactly what the Cardinals needed to do. Just take things slowly. Plenty of time left in this ball game, and put a couple of plays together back to back, and next thing you know, that leads to a drive.
Loose football, and Davison able to recover as Kehoe quickly falls on it. As this time the exchange again between Kehoe and Zernhelt, not a good one. Davison, fortunately for them, able to fall atop the pigskin. And they'll hang on, but they will lose some yardage as they lose 3, and the football is moved back to the 47 for a 2nd and 13. Besides the 2 big pass plays for 13 and 12, Davison hasn't done much offensively. 3 incomplete passes and -3 yards rushing. They'll toss out the screen and looking to get back to the original line of scrimmage. As I believe it was Sams who hauled it in, and he'll pick up about a yard, maybe 2. Manzardo on the stop, as they'll give the Davison receiver a yard, and it's 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12.
Cards need to get to the 34-yard line. Chased out of the pocket. Zernhelt rolling left, throws, and it's complete. Greenway with the catch. And he is going to have a Davison first down.
And there's Greenway again, making the big catch again. Finding out where that first down marker is, making sure he's breaking off his pattern past the first down marker and making a big catch. There you see Zernhelt rolling. Excellent job of throwing on the run that time, and good concentration that time by Greenway. Talked about the passes he caught in the first half, and in one of those he made a big catch over the middle and took a shot and then fumbled the football, which led to a turnover. And this kid's not scared to go in there and catch the football.
16-yard pass play, taking it to the 31. And boy, I tell you what, this Kearsley D is just stuffing this Davison rushing attack, as the Cards are having a heck of a time trying to run the football. As the Cardinals will actually lose a yard on that 1st and 10, moving it back to the 32-yard line for 2nd and 11.
They were running the ball, being so tough. What they could look to do is throw little flares out of the backfield, and similar to what you would call a long handoff, just kind of get the back out there and get them going forward, give them a little momentum, and just toss it out there to them.
Zernhelt throws, and it's incomplete. Timing route for Greenway. Pass a bit in front of the intended receiver in Greenway and short, and it's 3rd down. Davison has been successful on 3rd down. They're perfect 3 for 3 on this series, and the big pass plays have bailed them out. 3rd and 11, they need to get to the 21 of Kearsley for a first down. Zernhelt going long and well overthrown and incomplete. Looking for Sams this time. Pass a bit far, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Zernhelt that time wasn't going to take a loss. Did the right thing by getting that thing out of bounds.
So Davison is bringing out the punting team, and they are 4th and 11 from their 32-yard line, and they're going to try to pin the Hornets deep with a little pooch punt. High snap, and it's blocked. The Hornets will get on it, or rather the Cards will get on it, and it doesn't really matter because Kearsley's going to take over, as there were 3 blue shirts in there. I think it was John Daly, 21, who got his hands on it. He heads to the sidelines in jubilation. And this time the Hornets able to block it. They've been in there a couple of times, Thrill.
I was just about to say, Pat, that seemed like it was going to happen. That block was going to happen eventually. A couple of times they've come close, and one of the main reasons because Greenway has to go so high to get the ball on the snap, and that gives the Kearsley team a little extra time to get in there.
So the Hornets take over after the block punt, which actually was spotted down at the line of scrimmage. So punt actually was 0 net yardage there. And Dosh on the carry on 1st and 10. Picks up 4, setting up a 2nd and 6. And the Hornets will have it from their 35. It was Temple this time. Actually, Ryan Dunning on the carry. And Dunning will scoot up field for a couple. Takes it up to the 37. And it'll set up a 3rd and call it 4.
The situation we haven't seen this Hornet team in too often tonight. either or as far as the play goes.
Pitch out Dunning. And he is going to be very close as he takes it over the 40. And from the looks of the spot, he appears to have a first down. But there is a flag throw, and that is in the area of the field where it appears it's going to be a penalty against the blue shirts, that being Kearsley. More than likely a hold, and that's what's going to be the call. Davison obviously accepting. And we're going to replay third down as we'll tack on 10 against the Hornets. And instead of a first down for Kearsley on the run from Dunning, we're going to replay third down and make it a 3rd and 14. And moving the football back to the 26.
3rd and 16.
Just the kind of break Davison needs to get back into this football game. Now they need a stop on 3rd and long for Kearsley. Need to get to the 40-yard line. Van Pelt rolling right. In trouble. He's going to be brought down for a sack.
Number 16 for the Cardinals, breaking through their second. Van Pelt in the backfield.
On the sack, that is Sean Zernhelt. Let's take another look. Number 16 wrapping up number 12. Quarterback on quarterback that time.
And you talk about pitchers helping their own cause, and here's Zernhelt helps his own cause that time by bringing down Van Pelt with the sack.
On the sack, moving it all the way back to the 15, and now Temple will punt it away from about his own 2. And he gets off a high one, and a nice one. And the fair catch by Kehoe, wrapped up and hauled in. And
there's a flag on the play as well. Back by the punter, so is it roughing or running into?
More than likely, it'll probably be a running. As the Kehoe fair caught the football at the 37-yard line, 38. Close to, and let's see what this flag's about. Boy, it's a roughing the kicker thrill. And Kearsley's going to hang on to the football. Wow, did they catch a break?
They most certainly did. Let's see if we can take another look at that one and see exactly what took place then.
So to move the football up to the 30 after the roughing the kicker. And now we've got a whistle. And one of the defenders for the Cards knocked back out there. Let's take a look at the replay now and try to get a look at this one. Let's try it one more time. We at the end of it.
As always on the near side, Mr. Joe Boger, Steve Edier, Bill Dover, and Ed Perry.
See a wide look, and then,
Academy Award performance that time?
If you were going to say it, I was. He bumped him, but not enough to have him spin around for a 360.
Well, I tell you, you know, the running, I think that was more of a running into than it was a roughing. I think with the roughing called after the ball has been punted and the punter has his leg extended and you run into him or something like that, that's different. But he was just about both feet on the ground.
Tough break and an unfortunate call from the officials as Dunning with the carry, and he's going to have a first down as the final seconds are ticking away in this third quarter. Neither team has put up any points in this third as it remains 21-0 Kearsley. Actually, they will spot Dunning down a yard short of the first. We'll call it 2nd and 1 from the 39. And the Hornets will pick up a first down here on that 2nd and 1 play as they'll take it up to the 40-yard line. Dunning on back-to-back carries. Moves the sticks for the Hornets. actually from their 45-yard line, as we'll
That'll be the last play of the third quarter.
get things sorted. And Kearsley will head to the sideline, still up by the 21-0 margin. We'll take a break on the game of the week. We'll have the fourth quarter for you between the Cardinals and the Hornets after this timeout from CK Richards Field. Stay tuned.
I can't believe I get paid for this.
I always thought my dad collected U.S. savings bonds. He was really helping to ensure the future. His and mine.
Join the Air Force and see the world's most exotic terminals. For today's hottest computer careers, aim high, Air Force.
Welcome back as we are getting set to begin this fourth quarter. And Kearsley is just 12 minutes away, Thrill, from winning back-to-back Big Nine Conference championships. They're doing it in convincing fashion at the Cardinals' expense. They're up 21-0 as we begin these final 12 minutes.
Now you see one of our younger fans here tonight, and speaking of time away, I'm a little bit away from catching one of these frisbees these guys are throwing into the stands. I have to open this window up.
Don't you do that. On first down, that's Dunning on the carry for about a yard, and Kehoe wraps him up, and it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Not only will you make me angry if you open up the window, I think everybody in this press box will.
Hey, you ain't got no ball!
I don't want to have to sick Phil Pearson or Pete Sark on you. Take care of you.
That'll be quite a story, huh? Right on the front page of the sports section.
Dunn in motion on 2nd and 9. Van Pelt drops back to throw, and he'll hurl it. And I don't know if he's lost the handle or it may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage, but that pass was well short, intended for Dunn. And it's incomplete anyhow, and it's a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that thing was like a wounded duck going out there. But like he might have just lost his grip as he went to throw the football.
There you see Dick Delage manning this Davison sideline. And it's been an awfully long time since the Cardinals have had a losing season, and we're just a quarter away from the Cards finishing 4-5 for the '96 campaign. They'll pitch it out Dunning, who's had a lot of work in this second half, and he's going to be stacked up. Not able to turn the corner was Dunning on the 3rd and 9 play, and it'll bring up 4th down. That'll bring out the punting unit for Kearsley.
And I'll tell you the thing about that is Dunning stayed in bounds, and that clock just keeps on ticking away. And now the Cardinals have 2 people to beat now, the Hornets and the clock.
So Temple is out there to punt it away for the Hornets. Gets off a high one, and it'll take a Hornet bounce. And Crabtree, number 19, thought about it for a moment, maybe to grab it. Made the wise choice and backed away. And there's going to be no return.
And a flag on the play as well. Legal procedure against the Hornets.
Let's see what Davison decides to do here. They decline and go ahead and take the football here, or do they force Kearsley to punt it? They're going to decline it and bring the offense out.
Yeah, you get the ball out there. It looks like about the 31, 32-yard line, and you don't want to take a chance on re-kicking that and have that thing get away from you and take a roll down inside the 10 somewhere.
So the punt covers 24 yards and no return. And Davison will take over 1st and 10 from their 31. They got to start airing it out. They got to score some points in a hurry. As they'll pitch it to the motion man. And he'll take it upfield. for a minimal gain. Actually, Sam's looking to turn the corner. Actually is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He covered a lot of real estate, but unable to get any yardage on the positive side. So they actually spot him down a yard loss on that and moves it back to the 30 for 2nd and 11. On the keeper, it's Zernhelt. And he will take it up close to the 35, actually over the 35 for about 5, and it'll set up a 3rd and 5 for Davison. Actually, he's brought down at the 36.
And the Cardinals are not going to go to that throw the ball every down offense just yet.
Third and 5, and the Cardinals need to get it to the 41-yard line. Zernhelt on the option, turns the corner, dives, and he'll have a 1st down and more, taking it close to the 43-yard line for about 7 and a Cardinal 1st.
Zernhelt that time did an excellent job of turning the ball up. And that's one thing about when you run a play like that. As a quarterback, you have to make the read, and you have to make the right read. Know when to turn it up and when to pitch it. And Zernhelt made the right decision that time. Turned the ball up, picks up the 1st down.
That's what I liked about him a week ago in the Owasso win. Boy, he ran that option well. Broke off some nice gains. That was really the difference in the contest, as Owasso was really unable to contain Zernhelt, the quarterback. And he led the Cardinals to a W last week. Get things set, and here we go. 1st and 10 for the Cards from their 43. Zernhelt fakes to Kehoe. Oh, almost lost that football as he gets it over the 45 to about the 47 for 4. Faked the Kehoe, turned upfield, and one of those blue shirts put a nice pop on him. Zernhelt with the presence of mind to hang on to the football, and that was almost a turnover.
You know, those guys come up from the secondary. They come up full steam ahead, and you know, when you play in the secondary or a linebacker, that's one of your dreams, to come up and make a hit like that.
Actually going to give Zernhelt 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 48. This time he'll hand it off. And the runner takes it close to midfield, and that's it for a couple. It was Tom Husted, 34 this time on the carry. So Husted picks up 2, and it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Cardinals from midfield. So this will be the 6th play of this drive for the Cards, which started from their 31, and they need to get it to about the Kearsley 46.5. Zernhelt fakes, and he'll toss it.
That's
Throws a floater up there. You're right, Thrill, and it's incomplete. Looking for Tony Greenway. Had some air underneath it. Too much, and it goes out of bounds for an incomplete pass, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I tell you, when you throw a pass like that, you want to give your guy an opportunity to go get it. And when you throw a pass that high, everybody has the opportunity to go get it.
Actually, those secondary people from Kearsley, their eyes got real big as they may have had an opportunity to pick that one off, but they cannot. And at this stage of the ball game with 7:22 to go, and Kearsley with a big advantage, 21-0, on this 4th and 3 situation at midfield, Davison has no other choice but to go for it. As I said, need to get to the 47, and they will as Kehoe carries. On the quick handoff, and he'll take it inside the 45 to about the 43 for close to 7 yards. Will move the sticks for a Cards and a 1st down.
And I tell you, on that 4th down, everybody in this stadium was probably thinking pass, except for the 11 kids on the field and the coaching staff for Davison. There you see the young kicker warming up there.
Well, Davison really doesn't have their mind on field goal right now. They got it on touchdown. 1st and 10, they'll spot it at the Kearsley 42-yard line. Not much on this 1st down play, as actually they're going to lose some yardage with the Cardinals. They'll move that football back to the 45. It was Zernhelt, and he met 33 of Kearsley. That's Joe Manzardo, and 9 times out of 10, when you bump into 33 of Kearsley, you're going to lose that battle. Zernhell actually loses 2. And it'll be second and about 12, call it 13 now, as they'll lose 3.
I tell you, Manzardo definitely has a bright future in football. This kid can play the game.
Zernhell fakes the handoff, throw it. This time a tight spiral up in the air, and it is incomplete.
Oh.
Tony Greenway, the intended receiver, and Ryan Dunning, Alex Masserang, and Rich Dosh with the triple coverage on Greenway over there, right sideline. And it was almost intercepted.
And Dosh gets up and past Greenway on the backside and has to say, hey, you almost came up with that.
So the incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd and 12 for Davison at the Kearsley 45. They need to get it to the Hornet 32 to move the sticks. Zernhell pumps and throws, and incomplete. Looking for Husted. And Alex Masserang looked like he sent it to the turf. Signals crossed it looked that time, Thrill, as Zernhell may have got that one off a bit early, as Husted was didn't appear he had finished his route just yet.
He most certainly didn't, as that pass was thrown in his direction. I tell you, this has been a long drive for the Cardinals.
Started from their 31. Here is a 4th and 12. This could be it. They'll complete it. Now looking for the first down, and Greenway, don't think he has it. Needs to get to the 32. He's brought down at about the 33, 34-yard line in that vicinity, as we weren't able to tell, as it's right in front of the Kearsley bench. And anyhow, it's going to be short by at least a yard or 2, and Kearsley's going to take over. So Davison will turn it over on downs.
I tell you, for the first time tonight, Greenway failed to get past the first down marker before making the catch. Just a little short that time. The ball was delivered when he was open, though, and he just couldn't pick up the few extra yards.
So Kearsley will take over 1st and 10 from their 34-yard line with Dunn in motion. Van Pelt will give it to Lalonde, the first man, and we got a flag coming at the end of the play.
Okay, that's one of those things where you're better off just going down. You know, your progress is stopped, but you're still kind of pumping the legs, and what it does is give guys the opportunity to take an open shot.
And Lalonde certainly did that time around, as this penalty looks to be against Kearsley. An illegal man downfield is declined by Davison. So it's 2nd and 10 after the decline penalty from the 34 for the Hornets. Kearsley fans getting greedy as we're hearing them yell for that offense to get going. They're up 21-0, but they'd like to see some more points, as Tom Payne will take it over to the 35 to about the 37. Working the left side of that offensive line.
I tell you, I wouldn't be at least be surprised if this was the last series for Mr. Van Pelt and company.
Yeah, we talked about it. Regardless of outcome, this Kearsley team is going to be playing a 10th ball game of 96 as they are in the postseason. So they have racked up enough points through 8 weeks of play to qualify for the Michigan High School Athletic Association playoff. Payne on the carry, and he's going to be very close to a Kearsley first down, and where the officials spotted, he is going to be very close, and now the officials are going to call time. No, they will not. He will have it. Needed 7, did Tom Payne, and he got about 8, and will move the sticks for the Hornets. Moving the football up to the 49-yard line.
I'll tell you, this Cardinal defenses have come out and played very well in the second half, unlike the first half.
Big gainer for Payne once again in the Davison territory, inside the 45 to about the 43. as he breaks off about 8 yards on that effort.
And to finish that thought, unlike the first half where the fumble on the kickoff return, they just could not recover from that, and they've come out the second half and played very well.
Actually, they'll give Payne 7, and it's 2nd and 3. They go back to Payne, and his 4th consecutive carry. And he will have another first down for the Hornets. Now we got some substitutions rather, as Jack Pratt and his coaching staff for Kearsley will get some of the first unit out there and save them for next week, as we'll have a replay on this last effort. Good second effort from Payne, and actually he fumbled the football. Didn't see it as all those bodies were there on the sideline, and it was recovered by Dwayne Dunn. Good heads-up play from him. So here's Dunning on first down. 1st and 10 at the 41.
And as I said, this would be the last series for Van Pelt and company. He was replaced at quarterback by number 8, Tony Jordan.
Well, we're not sure of how Clio fared against Grand Blanc, but we got 3.5 to go approximately in this one, and Kearsley is going to at least have a share of the conference title, and they will win back-to-back Big 9 titles for the first time in quite some time. Give credit to this coaching staff for putting this unit together, and we saw them back in week 1, did we, Thrill, against Powers, and we knew this team had a lot of potential, and they lost numerous players to graduation, but they have filled those spots, and they have done quite well, as we have a flag down as we get most of the first unit off the field as they get a well-received applause. That penalty will be against the Cardinals. An unsportsmanlike call. And after the run, we'll tack on more yardage. And that'll move the football all the way down to the 25-yard line for a 15-yard unsportsmanlike call. Well, Thrill, we talked about the region that Kearsley and Clio are in. Other teams in there are the Metro Conference champion Lapeer West. They are the defending Class A champs. And your back-to-back Saginaw Valley champs in Saginaw. And that's going to be very interesting to see how that one works out. Remember, last year, Kearsley was thumped, so to speak, by Lapeer West 27-0. And the way it works out right now, it looks like it's going to be Kearsley and Lapeer West next week. And that's going to be one heck of a ball game. And if all 4 teams win in this region, the game will be at Lapeer West. And Kearsley's going to like to have nothing better than another chance at knocking off the defending state champs, won't they?
They most certainly will use revenge as a factor in that ball game. They were in that game up 0-0 up until 3 quarters and kind of let it get away from them. But I'm sure they're looking for redemption.
They are going to have their hands full, though, because Dan Dreyer is a stud in the backfield for Lapeer West. Coming into week number 9 of play, Mr. Dreyer, listen to this, 23 touchdowns through 8 weeks of play. And the scary thing is, that young fella is just a junior.
I tell you, and he knows where the end zone is. I mean, 23 touchdowns through 9 games is no fluke.
Mm-hmm. Mike Milliken with 7 TDs, and Danielle, who is a strong kicker, we'll have to watch that. Now Kearsley, Ryan Dunning with the touchdown, a 16-yard effort on 3rd and 1. And the Hornets, who had been held scoreless in this second half, add another score and pad their lead a bit more, as it's now 27-0 as Dunning rolls off a 16-yard scamper for a score.
And it was just a matter of time. Here we take another look. There you see the handoff to Dunning, goes over the left side. Excellent hold.
And he was untouched, Thrill.
Untouched. If they were playing flag football, he still would have scored. Good run by Dunning.
Gallagher for the point after, looking to go 4 for 4. And he does. 1:42 remaining in this contest. And the Hornets make it 28-0 over Davison. Yeah, we'll do this thing over with again. Had a flag down. Yep, the Kearsley cheerleaders can do just that as they are now bringing out the banner. They do repeat as Big 9 champs do the Hornets. So you get the signal, and now you see the banner. Oh, come on, girls. Turn it the other way so the folks at home can see it. Masserang the hold for Gallagher once again as we'll try to do it over. I tell you what, Gallagher with a big-time boot. Missed it wide left. So it's 1:42 to go once again as point after is no good this time from Gallagher. And it's 27-0 after the Ryan Dunning 16-yard touchdown run.
That was about the only thing that didn't go the Hornets' way.
So Davison's going to have one more opportunity to possibly put some points on the board as they've got 1:42 to work with. And impressive thing about this football game tonight, one, the Kearsley offensive line, and two, we talked about the size matchup. Kearsley much bigger up front in the trenches, and Davison utilizing their smaller players and speed, and they have just completely stopped this ground game, which was a potent one with Kehoe and Husted and Sams for Davison, and they have held these guys in check, and this has been awesome.
It most certainly has. We talked about the offensive line. The Cardinals having 3 guys up front that were about 250, a couple that was around 200, and I tell you, if you don't get an opportunity to put your helmet and shoulder pads on the guys, it really doesn't matter.
Crabtree on the return will take it up close to the 25-yard line where Davison will have it with 1:35 remaining. So Kearsley's going to move to 8-1. And their lone setback was in week number 7 at the upset loss here at Flushing. That was a 28-27 overtime defeat. And with the Clio win, those two would share the Big 9 Conference Championship. And the odds makers would have Clio winning that ball game at Grand Blanc, but you just never know with Grand Blanc's high-octane offense led by their freshman runner in Reggie Benton. They have put some big-time points on the board, but expect Clio to win that one. We obviously don't know the results since this one is taped on Friday. And the Cardinals are going to break one here. It's a foot race to the end zone. Finally wrapped up out of bounds as this Kearsley home folks here are excited as they want a shutout.
They most certainly do want a shutout, and I tell you, just as bad as they want that shutout, the Cardinals want to put some points on the board. An excellent run that time, and they're very close to getting that one into the end zone.
That was Randy Crabtree on the big gainer.
And I tell you, if Crabtree had have eventually ran diagonally across the football field, there's a chance that he'd be in the end zone dancing right now.
Picked up 58 yards on that effort. He takes it to the Kearsley 17 as now this is just pride for Davison. They'd like to put a touchdown up. They've got that first unit still in there, and that is Zernhelt on the carry. Let's take another look at it now as biggest play of the night for Davison. Coming here in the final minute and a half as it is Crabtree.
They seem straight up the left sideline. And you can see him laying there. He is out of gas.
He has been on both sides of the football, also special teams, and can't blame him for being out of gas. He's put in a hard effort as he is in there as it is not Zernheld, it's Crabtree under center. as we get a big run, and it's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Cardinals as they will take it inside the 5-yard line as Craig Kehoe is on the carry. And the Cardinals will call timeout to stop the clock with 25 and 3/10 seconds to go. They want to get some fresh players out there, get some of those who've been working hard all season long in practice. So now the Cardinals will head to the sideline and try to map something out here and try to put some points on the board.
Test 1, 2.
You know, you want to give your players the opportunity to score in the ball game, and you know, for your seniors, possibly, I mean, to end this thing on a positive note by getting the ball into the end zone.
And Jack Pratt with some final instructions for his D will trot back to the sidelines in those fluorescent yellow trousers that he is so accustomed to wear. Always the dapper dresser is Mr. Pratt. You got to have a fashion layout in GQ. And stay with us, folks. Got some post-game activity for you. As Davison will score. And they get their first touchdown as Craig Kehoe punches it in from 4 yards out on the 1st and goal play. And finally the Cards get on the board with 21 and 6/10 seconds to go and avoid the shutout.
Good job by Kehoe that time, finding the end zone.
That's what you like to see. Play it out to the final seconds, and Davison showing a lot of pride, putting one in the end zone. And the low line driver from Greenway is good. Rather, Clint Perriman with Greenway holding knocks it through. And with 21.6 to go, it is now 27-7 Kearsley.
I'm going to tell you that one thing about it, there's no quit in these guys, and they weren't going to give up until they put something on the scoreboard, and that's great to see.
Well, we're not sure how the schedule is going to play itself out. If maybe Kearsley or Clio can pull off a W in the first round of the playoffs next week, this quite possibly could be our last boys high school football contest of the 96 campaign. And I tell you what, been another great ride, and pleasure doing business with you as always.
Oh, definitely. I tell you, it's always a thrill to get out here with you and cover high school sports.
But with football coming to a close, that means only one thing. We got boys high school basketball.
Right around the corner.
And it's going to be a tremendous joy watching Charlie Bell of Southwestern Academy in his senior season for Reggie Manville's Knights. And Charlie this Wednesday is going to be announcing where he chooses to go to college, and there are all sorts of coaches wondering where Mr. Bell is going to go. And speaking of wondering where to go, it's Tom Payne. He is down the sideline, and it's a foot race on the kick return. And the Hornets aren't done just yet. Tom Payne, who's put in a nice effort from his tailback spot, this time on the kick return. Nice block set up by the Kearsley return squad, and Payne broke free down that sideline, and he almost got away for a score.
He sure did. I tell you, he started up the middle, and that's exactly how you run a kickoff back. No need him back there dancing around. You run the ball north and south, not east and west, and he took that thing right down the sideline.
Took it all the way down to the 16-yard line, but I bet if you're Kearsley, you're just going to take a knee here, and that's
take a knee
a lot
and
of
let's go
class.
home.
Tony Jordan is instructed from his coaching staff to take a knee, and the final seconds will tick away. And Kearsley has won back-to-back Big Nine championships. Not sure of the Clio outcome. It could be outright with the Stang loss, but if the Mustangs win, they'll at least have a share for the second season in a row. Congratulations, Kearsley Hornets. Final score from C.K. Richards Field, Kearsley 27, Davison 7. And now we will let the players exchange congratulatory handshakes